Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes coming to you tonight, evidently with a frog in my throat. But I didn't ask him to visit with us, so hopefully he went away. But anyway, I am coming tonight to bring you a fun fold card that is not my idea. I did see it somewhere else. I liked it. I did my own little take on it. So I'm bringing that to you. But before I do that, I do want to tell you I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Ohio, and we are going to have free shipping tomorrow. So all day tomorrow is free shipping on orders over $75. So if you're interested in doing that, I do have a host code. You'll see that when I turn my phone down, and I would be happy for you to place an order with me and let you take advantage of the free shipping. So you'll see that. Maybe you'll even like what I'm doing and order some of those supplies, or maybe you already have them, which would be great. It'd be a nice card for you to make. I think you're going to like it. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, we have our paper sale to the end of the month, 15% off, and then we have that fantastic deal on if you want to join Stampin' Up! For $99, you get $155 worth of product that you get to pick out yourself. So you could use it on an embossing machine if that's what you would really like, or you can pick out stamps, paper, inks, whatever. You're not committed to be a salesperson to do this. You are just committed to not even just selling Stampin' Up, but buying Stampin' Up, meeting your quarterly minimums. And you can do that yourself. If you're a big stamper like I am, it's not hard to do. Or you could have a couple friends that order with you and you guys take advantage of a discount. If you would like to do that, please contact me at ritaholmes0611@gmail.com, or go to my online store and hit the Join Now button, or just message me and we can talk about it. I'd love to talk to you about it and love for you to join my team. And I do want to tell you all of that up front before I get started, because I do want to do my card. And when I do my cards, I also do Facebook Lives, and I do it on a group page, which is called Stamp Crazy VIP. And on that page, you can pull the PDFs for the cards I make. So you can get the directions for free each Tuesday for the cards I make. They're in the files. There is over 3 years worth of PDFs in there of all kinds of techniques, fun folds, cards just using different things. You might like it. You could go see them and find out, print off what you like, and start your little library of PDFs to make your cards. So I am going to first make sure my computer has, when I turn my phone down, I want to make sure that I'm in focus, because sometimes I get out of focus. I just don't pay attention to what I'm doing. If you get dizzy, please close your eyes. But before you do that, if you wouldn't mind to give me a thumbs up, and also hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I'm like 22 people away from having 1,000 followers, which that's just a goal of mine that I want to try to make. And once I get there, I'll up that goal. But, you know, baby steps. So right now, I'm just working on that 1,000 people goal. So I'd like for you to share my videos so that it can get out to other stampers and they might want to join too and watch. So, okay, let's turn ourselves down and get ready to make a card. And it's a fun fold card, like I said, so I think you're going to like it. You're probably going to see my phone cord and all this stuff as I go, but that's okay, because I got to stand up to do this. If you don't know me in person, I'm not very tall, so I'm always having to stand up. Trying to get my phone to turn over. There we go. There we go. So that is my host code for June. If you'd like to place an order, I will bring my phone down a little bit because we're not doing anything to where we have to be. There we go. This is my host code. That is my online store, which is ritaholmes.stampinup.net. And Therefore, if you would like to order from me, there's all the information. If you wanted to order over $150, do not use the host code. You can get the stamping rewards, or better yet, you can join to get that discount. And if your orders, you would only pay $99 for that $150 order that way, with free shipping on that. Plus, you would only pay your tax if your state charges taxes. So there we go. We're done with all that stuff. That business stuff, you know. I got to get it out of the way. I'm going to move that to the side. Here's my card. It's called a Springboard card. Now, I got this from Susan Campfield. She did a card. I just did a different little version of it, and I just changed a little bit from how she did hers to how I did mine. But, you know, we all change to what we feel comfortable with, so that's okay. But I really appreciate watching her video and getting this and making my card. And so when you can, if you do not already join my Facebook group, you can go over there and get the PDF on how to make it. And that will be in the description below, the link to my Facebook page, so that you can go get that, and it will be in the files. The name of the file will be the same name as at the top of this video, whatever the name of it is, which I think I have it as Springboard Fun Fold Card number 43. So I've done 43 Fun Fold cards with all the other stuff that I've done. So anyway, here it is. It's kind of springy. It's got some little springs in there that you make out of paper. And when you open it up, it's got something else on springs. You can use any kind of stamp set you want. I used the Bird's Eye View because I think it's so cute. And it is somewhere on my desk. Somewhere on my desk. I had it out doing something with it. Now what do I do with it? I don't know. Right here it is. There we go. It's this set right here. Doesn't have dies with it. It's just a plain set. So if you wanted to pop up anything, you would have to fussy cut it, which I like to fussy cut, so that doesn't bother me. But some people don't like it. But I look at it this way. It's only a $20 stamp set, and you can make a bunch of cards. I'm actually going to show you 5 cards made with this set tonight and tell you how you can get the kits for the other 4. And then I used, for my saying, I used the Charming Sentiments and used the die cuts for it, which is right here. I did Hey There. And then when I opened up, I put What's New. And What's New are little books. So that'd be a cute little card to give if you was giving somebody a book or a magazine or something like that, something to read. So we are going to get started on our cards, but first I want to tell you I used the new In Colors. I got that all wobbly crazy here. I used the new In Colors, and the color that you see here, this back color, that is Pebbled Path, and then I put some Moody Mauve on there with it. You'll see that in several places, and I just thought those two looked really warm together. But here are the papers, and I'm not going to flip through every one of them to show you the sides. But this paper here has the little hearts on the back. Then this paper has the polka dots on. No, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong. That's the same paper. What was I doing? Then this one with the polka dots has the stripes on the back. So, and that's what you get in all 5 colors. You have boho blue, you have cinnamon cider, no, not cinnamon cider, copper clay, moody mauve, pebbled path, and wild wheat. And so those are your colors that you have in the 5. You get four pieces of each paper for, I think it's $12.50. It's a good deal. You have lots of little papers to choose from. And the PDF I was talking about is right here. And on this, it shows the card, and it shows everything I used. That looks really intimidating, but it's all paper, just cutting your papers. And here's the directions for the card. And I made a cheat sheet little thing here on how to fold those little springs. I will tell you, though, if you have the little mini wobble action things. I ordered mine off of Amazon. I actually looked it up. It was in 2019. But these are about the same size, and you could use these, and that makes it wobble too. And you wouldn't have to cut out the paper, score it, and make your own. But then again, these cost some money, and if you're making a lot, you might not want to use that. So let's set everything over here, and let's go through what I have for you here. I started to say, I better have 2 of these. These are 5.5 by 4 1/4. One is your base for the back of your card, which is here. This one I'm going to score, and that is this middle piece right here, which is like a Z fold, if you can see it. Can you see that and how it folds out? That is your second piece, and I'm going to score that in a second. Then you're going to have 3 pieces to make your 3 springs. 2 go right here, and then 1 goes over here. So I'm going to show you how to make those, and I'm going to score one for you. And then the front of the card, this part is like 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 in pebbled path, 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 in moody mauve, and a 4 by 4 in basic white. And then you have to go on top of that, you have a piece of 1 inch by 4 inch pattern paper, and then you have, let me see which one. You actually have this as a 1/2 inch by 4 inch, and that gets glued right in under that and leaves just a little bit of, we'll glue that together. That'll go like that. So that is basically the front of your card right there. And of course, we will have our 2 3/8 inch circle from the Circle Punch, and then a circle, the stitch from the Stylish Shapes. It's the stitch one. It's the second from the largest circle, and it fits this very nice. And we will have that. And then for the inside, when we score this, this is 2.5 by 4 that will fit inside. And then we're going to put, and I'm going to go ahead and put one on right now. This is 1 1/8 by 4, and it's going to go right over here. So let's put that on. We can get that one out of the way. Might as well get stuff out of the way while we can. Do a little bit of housekeeping. So I'm just going to put that on and leave just like a little 1/8 inch border there on the side. So that's going to go on like that. And then we are going to make our, we're actually going to score this, and as while we got the scoring board out, we are going to do our springs. So let's bring that in. We'll score this piece first. And I score that at 2 3/4 and 4 1/8. And that's all the scoring we do on that one. And then what happens is we just fold this over, make a good crease. And you all know I use my, if you watch me, I use a little Pampered Chef pot scrubber. And then I'm going to fold that back on itself. Crease that really good. And that's my little Z fold out of this piece. Okay. So while we're going to set that to the side a minute, because I want to score my, one of my springs that I'm going to make. This is 3/4 of an inch by 3 1/2. We're going to score at 3/4, 1 1/8, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 5/8, and 3 inches. And that's our score marks that we have for, can you see those? I turn them over, do you see them better maybe? But that is our score marks. Let's move this off. Put that up. That's all the scoring we have to do. Now, you have to score 3 of them, but I already have 2 of them scored. We are going to put these together in a minute. Now, on the PDF, everything is on there. Or you can watch the video back again and get the measurements as I've been telling them, okay? We're going to take this piece right here, and what we're going to do right now with it, I'm going to fold this back over, because what I want to do is I want to glue this right here about 1/8 of an inch from this piece of patterned paper. So I'm going to take my glue, and I just want to make sure that that's glued down really tight, because, you know, it has that little Z fold, so people like to play with those. It's hard to see that you get that on straight. There we go. I think it's on straight or straight enough. And I'm going to turn that over and see if I need to trim that, and really I don't. I did have a little glue there, so I'm going to wipe that off. Okay, now I'll fold this back over, and when I do that, I'm going to go ahead and burnish that again. I got glue on my table. I should use my silicone mat, but you know, that's like crazy doings for me to remember. Okay, what I'm going to bring in next, I have a piece of 1/2 inch by 4 1/4 mauve that's going to butt up against where I put that down, this piece of paper, because you can kind of see that line right there. We're going to go ahead and just butt this up against it. It just takes your eye away from that petal path line. So we're going to put that there. And like I said, just butt it up. Whoops. And not move it once you get it on there. That's a good idea. There we go. So we've got that on there. Then I've got another piece of my pattern paper, and it's cut 3/4 by 4, and it's going to go right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on there and glue that down, and I'll have the back of the card made. All but put my springs on, which we are going to do right here in a second. So let's just, so there we go. That's the gist of the back of our card, okay? My camera's down. I'm going to push this back up just a hair because I got that. I'm hoping that'll work, because I keep getting out of focus. So I need a little bit more room. Okay, let's bring our springs in. If you will notice, one end from the score mark is a little bit wider than the other end on the other side. That is supposed to be that way, so don't think that that is a mistake. So what we're going to do on each side, we're going to go mountain fold. So that's to make our mountain. Now we're going to go valley fold. And that's our valley down here. Then we're going to go mountain fold. Okay? So we have those 3. And I'm just using my fingers to kind of pinch it. Now I'm going to come across, we have this little place in here that's no marks. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to do mountain fold. Then I'm going to do valley fold, and I'm going to do mountain fold. And as you can see, I have one piece bigger than the other. That's what we want, and I'm going to turn it this way, because I'm going to tuck that bigger piece right next to the scored line of this, and I'm going to end up taping that down, and when I do, that's going to make this spring. So let's make the first one, and I do use tear and tape on these because I don't want the springs to fall apart. So what I do on the underneath side of the small side, the one that's not as big, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape, okay? Then I'm going to bring in my tool and I'm going to pop this off. Maybe. Or tear it. There we go. We popped it. So I'm going to do what I told you before. I'm going to take my bigger end. I'm going to butt it up against that score line and just put this down straight. Press that shut. See how our valley fold stayed in, and that is our spring. So it just springs. Okay, let's do the other three. By the time I get done, you'll remember mountain fold, valley fold. So we're going to go mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold. And when we do that, we're going to just press that. Then we are going to go mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold on this other side. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one too. Mountain, valley, mountain. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go mountain, valley, mountain. So I have all of my folds done. I have a big end and a little end. And I'm going to take on my little end, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape right in here. You could use Stampin' Seal Plus, anything that's a strong adhesive you can use. I'm just using tear and tape. It's what I have, what I tend to go to, because I like the fact that I don't have to cut. I can just tear and move on. It sticks to my fingers and everything, but that's okay. So I just want to make sure those are down. I'm going to take my pick tool end and I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to do the same on this one. Burnish that down. Pick this one up. I got little papers all over my floor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put my long piece at the fold. And before I do that, I see a little bit of that sticking out, so I just pushed it back on top of itself. Then I'm going to put that on, squeeze at my, my valley folds and make my spring. So there's two. Let's put the other one together. We're going to put that in there. Fold that over. I didn't get it quite squared up. And it probably doesn't matter in the big scheme of things, but I want those to match. There we go. And then take my little valleys and put like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put two of them on here, because two of them are going to go on here like this. And then we're going to end up with one over here. But I'm not going to put that one on just yet. I hope he doesn't want to always just go to the one side. So now what we're going to do is turn these over. We're going to take the tear and tape. And like I said, you could use any kind of strong adhesive. And what I'm going to do on these is I'm going to put two pieces of this, because I want that to really stay down flat. So I'm just going to put two pieces side by side. You can see them right there. I'm going to do the same over here. And this will also keep the fold glued down, because it's going across the fold lines. I did it on the side where we adhered them together. So that's just extra protection right there, or whatever you want to call it. I call it protection. And now, yeah, you let go of one of these and they spring all over the floor, the top of your table, which is so much fun. Sometimes I can do this with my fingers, but sometimes I pull up everything with it, so I just find this little tool works pretty good. Feels like I need to tighten it up. Well, I just tore the paper that on this one. Guess I will use my fingers since I tore it. At least I can get it up that way. There we go. Your end does get a little gunky. You have to push the glue off of it. It's coming loose. I've twisted it so much. Okay, so let's put the lid on that so we don't kill ourselves here. We're going to bring this down and somewhere about 1 inch, and then we're going to center it from here to here. Bring it down about 1 inch, or give or take, doesn't matter. Then we're going to take and do the other one the same way. And that will be for our front of our card when we get that made. So now we're going to bring in our piece that's going to go. This is our 2.5 by 4, which goes right here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp with my Charming Sentiments. I am going to stamp What's New. And I'm going to stamp that with the Pebbled Path ink. I really like this color. It's, oh, what do I want to say? Kind of a grayish brown. I just like it a lot. So I'm going to take, and this, it says What's New. And I'm going to put that towards the top. And while I've got this out, I'm going to take my saying that says, "Hey there," and I'm going to stamp that on a scrap piece, and we're going to cut it out with the emboss machine. So let's just take that and we'll stamp it right down here towards the bottom. And while I have this out, I'm going to switch to my tuxedo black ink that I have sitting right here. I found it. Let's put the Pebbled Path up. Because what I need to do is I need to take the books out of the bird's eye view. Put them on my block. And I'm going to stamp them on my scrap to color them and cut them out. And these are very easy to cut out. So I'm going to take and stamp this up here. There's my books. Books, books, books. Let's put this back on. I'm going to make sure I don't have any ink on my fingers because I get inky. I'm going to take my Tombow glue and I'm going to add this white piece on the inside of my card. That way it's out of my way. And it's going to go in here where this Pebbled Path piece is right here. We're just going to take and center that in there. And there we go. So that's in there and out of our way. So now what we're going to do, oh, yeah, okay. Starts I did something wrong, but I did not. I'm going to cut that off because we are going to die cut this. So let me move a couple things out of my way. My desk is like a hot mess. We are leaving for vacation day after tomorrow, and I'm trying to get stuff done down here. And I have to pack, and, you know, I got some packing done before I came down. I thought, you know what, I better do some packing before I go downstairs. I gotta act like I'm going on vacation. So here's my Hey There. And then here's they're called Sentiment Silhouette dies. And they fit all the Charming Sentiments. So you can cut out all of your words into shapes. This set right here. And I'm going to pull this out, and this is the one for Hey There. I do know that. Sometimes I have to look around which one fits. But this one fits here, and it just barely fits. I mean, the words, it's really tight, and they're all like that do the words. So it's like, get it on there. Don't touch. Put your top plate on. What I do is put that on and hold my finger there until this starts going through. And then I let go. And I have the squeakiest handle. I'm going to have to get my husband to oil that or something. Okay, so there's my Hey There. Throw my scrap away. Get rid of my plates. And put my die back on the magnetic base that I keep them on. That's my saving grace of not losing them. I have a die sitting here, and I don't know what die set it goes to. I can't find it. I think it's one of the ones that retired. So I have to go back through all of them. It's kind of crazy. So we're going to set that aside right now. We are going to bring this in, and we're going to stamp our bird. And I had a piece of, when I say nasty scrap paper, I mean nasty, but it's okay. It's got everything in the world written on it that I have to try to decipher out if I'm going to keep it, everything that's written on it. But who knows? You know, you never know. So I'm going to bring in the stamp set. I'm going to bring in the branch. Here's the card over here. And I'm going to stamp a branch on there. As soon as I find my... And I'm going to stamp that with the Memento ink because that's a really good permanent ink when you're going to color. So let's just move that down. I want it low, so if my head gets in the way, I'm really sorry. All you'll see is gray hair, though. Nothing fancy. Not with my hair. Now we're going to bring the bird in, and we're going to stamp the bird. And we're going to stamp him right on the branch. So his little feet's on the branch, or close to it. Make sure we have his tail in the... And there's our little bird sitting on the branch. And we're going to stamp the little baby bird. And he's going to go on this white piece right here, down in the lower right-hand corner. So let's stamp him. And as you can see, I'm not cutting any of the birds out. They're all pretty stationary. There he is. I love photopolymer stamps for the fact that you can see exactly where you're stamping and you don't have to worry about it. It's my favorite thing about them. Okay, let's put the stamping pad up. Now we're going to color. And I used, let me get them all out. It sounds like I'm getting out like 100 of them, but it's not quite 100. Sometimes I feel like it, though. Here they are. It's because I got the light and darks. The light and dark Moody Mauve, light and dark Pebbled Path, the dark Wild Wheat, and then light and dark Boho Blue, light and dark Copper Clay, light and dark Crumb Cake. Crumb Cake's for the branch. So I want to color all of these three things at the same time. Saves you time that way. The first thing I'm going to do is the branch. So I'm going to bring in the dark. And I'm just going to add some dark along the top and bottom of the branch. I'm not trying to be real precise because it doesn't matter to me. to be precise. And now I'm going to bring in the light, and I'm just going to swirl over because that blends those colors in together. Because your Stampin' blends are alcohol markers, and when you go over these, after you've put one color down and you go over, it rejuvenates that alcohol in there, and then that's what blends them. So there is my branch. Now I'm going to bring in wild wheat, and this is for just the beaks. So there's his beak, and here's this little baby's beak. And before I bring in my, I can get these out of the way. We're done with those. I'm going to bring in my mauve color. And I'm bringing in the light. And I'm going to just make some marks here where these little dark marks are. I'm going to go around the wing. And this little tuft of feathers up there, I'm going to go around that. Okay, now I'm going to color the birds. So I'm going to bring in my light pebbled path, and I'm going to color my little bird. So, and I am using the darker end of that, and I want the lighter end, so let's just change over. Just being careful not to go over his beak. And then I'm going to add some pebbled path here. And I'm going to bring in my light mauve again, and I'm going to make my wing mauve. And there we go. That's our little bird. So he's all done. Let's do the big bird. And I'll take the dark pebbled path, and I'm going to outline around his head. And I'll bring the light in, and I want to go over his eye because there's a little white dot in his eye. It's very little speck. And I don't want to color that. I want to leave it white. And there his head is done. We're going to do his body. I'm bringing in the dark and I'm going to bring in the light again. And I just blend that when I do that. And if you want that darkness a little bit darker, you can go back over it again after you've blended. And I'll show you what I do sometimes when I want it to show just a little bit darker. I'll just take this real lightly, like just feather brushing it. And then just add and it will blend in, make it a little bit darker. So now we're going to do our feathers on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in boho blue, and I'm just going to use the light on this. So I'm going to skip 2. Skip 2. And that's what I get. And we'll bring in the light mauve. And I'm not really doing any shading on this because of, I just really don't wanna, I guess, maybe. I don't think it needs it. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna do his tail. I forgot to do the other colors in his tail. I'm gonna put this in the middle. And I see I need to dot. There's going to be a little white spot here. I need to dot that. There we go. I'll bring back the boho blue. And finish his tail, and then I'll finish the other spots. There's his tail. Then I'll just bring this in. And I figured since his head was already this color and that, we didn't have to do the whiter lines with it. So there's the bird. The only other thing I need to do is do his little eyepiece, and I'm going to do that in boho blue instead of the black. I didn't like the black after I did it, but I like the boho blue. So we are going to use that. I'm just going to ink that up. And I'll bring my bird in, and then we will going to do that this way. And there we go. He has a little eyeglass on so he can see better. He's got to see a little better. Okay, next thing we're going to do is do our books real quick. And then we're ready to put this all together. Books will not take long at all. Here's our books. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do copper clay. I'm going to use the light. And I'm going to go in the middle. And this. I don't think I'm going to have to use the dark because that's the darker end of this light color, I think. Maybe. I'm going to do the light up here. And instead of doing the dark color, I think I'm just going to like wisp this in the dark. There we go. And I will bring the darker in to do right here. Doesn't look much darker, does it? Let's do the other end and see if we can get some darkness in there. Yeah, that looks better. Kind of looks like a leather book. Then I'm going to bring the blue in. I'm going to use the dark. And I'm going to go put some shading on it. And then I'll take the other end of the dark and I'll color in each end of this book with the blue. Let's bring in some light. Didn't show. There we go. Now we're going to do a mauve book. So I'm going to bring in the mauve. I'm going to bring in the dark first. Color my book. And I'm going to put a little shading at the top of the book. So I'm just going to add some of that there. Bring in my light. Looks like that might be the darker part of the light. There we go with our books. Now I'm going to take my light pebble path and I'm just going to kind of mess up these little lines like they've darkened in time and have those, and I'm going to cut them out real quick. Show you how fast this goes. I stayed pretty quiet when I was coloring, I'm sorry. But I'm just going to cut this out and leave a little tiny white line. And I'm just going to let my scissors do the work here. I'm going to go around each one of these. Turning my paper, not my scissors. Because that really gives you a good line down there. I like that these books are pretty much straight. I don't have to do a lot of real fussy cutting. It's a lot of straight line cutting. And then I'll just do this around these. There we go, we have our books cut out. So we got everything done. Now let's put this little bad boy together. Let's get all this out of our way. I'll just scoot it over here out of the way. We're going to bring in all of our pieces as soon as I can get a hold of them. Here's our 4 by 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 pebbled path, and we're going to add the 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 Moody Mauve. I like to layer colors on color. I probably waste a lot of cardstock because that's what I do. I like that. And then I'm going to take these two pieces right here, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue down one side of the back of my DSP. And then I'm just going to lay that down with leaving about as much edge as I want left on there. And that will go on the end over here. So everything is pretty flat on here except for where the springs are. It will fit in a regular envelope, and it will mail at regular postage. Haven't had a problem with that. Okay, there's that down. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. So let's just take, and I just have like an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around, just enough to see a little bit of the colors. I didn't want anything big and abrupt there. Let's glue these little guys together. Glue on my finger. I bet everybody gets glue on their fingers. If you're a stamper and you don't do that, I applaud you. Because I get glue everywhere. We're going to glue this up here. Just like I said, I don't want to pop everything on here because that just adds more bulkiness. So I'm just going to add that right there. Here's my hay there. I started to say that doesn't look like my hay there. Here's my little hay there. Let's get all this out of the way. It's just bunches of stuff I write down. And I'm going to get my mini glue dimensionals. I started to say glue dots. But I'm going to put dimensionals on this one. Just because I want it to be seen more. So I'm going to put 2 whole ones at the fat part. Then I'm going to take a other one. And I'm going to just slice that in 2, which makes them quite tiny. But I can put one at each end here to help hold those ends up so they don't sag. Okay, so let's come on. It's off, I think. Yeah. Now to get these 2 off. I don't know why the little glue dots or little dimensionals are harder to get the paper backing off. I guess because there's not much to them. Then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just lay it down here. And pop that up. Now what we're going to do, this is going to go on here. But what I want to see, because this fits and you want it to be centered when you do this, I want to see where my books are going to lay, because I want my books to be hidden. So let's hide the books. Okay. I think if I put my books right here, it's going to be a good day. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to take my other spring that I hope, here it is, and I need to adhere this down. So what I'm going to do is take my tear and tape one more time to put this one down. And I just wanted to make sure I had my card made, hold it up there, see where I needed this to go. I'm going to go ahead and put tear and tape on both sides of this as I go. That would have been smarter all the way around. But I didn't do that. So now I'm doing it. You know, you think of things after the fact. I think of things after the fact. Maybe you do too. Okay, we're going to take this off of the first part. Then I'm going to stick down. Whoops, see how they, if you let go, they're like little frog legs or something. They go flying. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right, more on the white than I am on the mauve. And then I'm going to pull this tape off. And I kind of eyeballed where I needed my books to go, so I can go ahead and put my books on. So I'm going to take my books, and they are going to be on this side of the mauve, right there. Okay, so now I'm going to put my tear and tape on these two. And put that other thing, the front down, and then we will be done all but adding a few jewels. This video is a little longer than what I usually do. This fun fold is a little bit more intricate, but it's not any harder than any other fun fold. It's just got other pieces that you need to do and stuff. So to some people that's very intimidating, but it's such a cute card. You need to try it. They're fun. Oh my gosh. I have to go to a birthday party next week, and I might do this for her. She's got a big birthday coming, so I just got to decide what I'll put on it. Okay, we got that ready. We don't have to put any glue or anything on the back of this because this is going to hold it. So what I do is I kind of stand it up because I want it to be kind of in the center from side to side. And then if I hold this here, then I can press down. And then there's my card. See how that's pretty well centered there? So that when you open it, and there's the books. All we need to do is add some gems. And I have the In Color, they're called the In Color Dots, 2325 In Color Dots. So let's use some dots on here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put a big mauve one. Well, not the medium mauve one, I should say. I can put it right about there. And then I'm going to take two of the pebbled path ones and just, and there we go. So now our card is done. This is all there is to it. Isn't that a cute card? You could do this with so much stuff. I mean, there are so many stamp sets you could use for this. And like I said, I'll show you an envelope. Here's an envelope. This fits in here just perfect. Folds down. And then it's easy to mail. There we go. So, that's your card. And it will mail, because I know a lot of people worry about that when you have too much going on your card. So, that is what I've got. The other thing I wanted to show you is I did a class to go, which means that you take and I did it with the Bird's Eye View, which is this stamp set. But you notice it doesn't have any greetings. So I used Thanks a Bunch, Biggest Wish, and this is the only set I used on the cards. So, you know, you have lots of sentiments, so basically you would just need this set, and you could use any sentiments, but I did use these. And let me show you the 4 cards, because you would make 8 cards, 2 of each one. And there's this one. It says, Hello, Friend. And the little glasses have Wink Costello on them, and my little birds are like flipping around. So, and I have jewels on it. Then this one also says Hello, Friends, but it's a Z-fold, kind of like what's on here on the spring card. And it's Hello, Friend, and we have the little baby bird inside. And it's standing on the books. Isn't that cute? And we have Happy Birthday. And I used Lemon Lolly ribbon on it. All of the papers are in the Settles DSP. It's all the Settle colors. So you would actually get a half a pack of that paper with your stuff. And all the die cuts and that would be cut. But here's the die cuts. I haven't stamped anything on the inside of this one yet. And the last one is also Happy Birthday. And I just put some leaves on the inside from the tree. So anyway, you would make 8 of these cards, 2 of each design. Option 1, you would get all the cardstock cut sizes, envelopes, a half a pack of the Settles 6x6 Designer Series paper. Any die cuts or punched items, you would get cut as long as I can't stamp them, so it would be what would require being stamped first. You would get the embellishments I used on the card, which is basic rhinestones and ribbons. And you'll get more than enough dimensionals, and you'll get the PDFs of the directions for the card. That is $44, and that includes the stamp set, the Bird's Eye View. It's $44 if you pick it up off my porch if you live near me, or it's $53 to be mailed to you. The card kit only, which would be all of the stuff I named to you with the PDFs, it just doesn't include the stamp set, is $24 to be mailed to you. Or you can get the PDF options where you would get all 4 PDFs for $10. And I also list a thing of add-ons. It's stuff that I used, like the name of the embossing folders and different things like that you could always add on if you wanted that. If you would like to get one of my classes to go, I need to know by June 30th, and I'll mail them out by July 10th. But the earlier I know, the better, so I can make sure I get my papers in and stuff. But that would be great if you did. All you would have to do is you could comment in the comments of this video, or you could email me, or you can, which would be the best, email me or in the comments here. My email would be in the description below, so that you would be able to just email me, and just in the subject line put Bird's Eye class to go or something like that, so that I know it's for the, at least put class to go, so I know that that's what it's for, and I know it's not like a scammy email or something like that if I don't know you. Okay, so that is what I have for you today or tonight. I'm doing it at nighttime, so I don't know when you'll be watching it, but whenever you watch it, I hope that you have a good day or good evening or whatever it is. I'm going to be on vacation next week. I'm leaving Thursday. I won't be home till the following Wednesday. So I will not be doing a video next week. So it's going to be 2 weeks before I have anything up. So do remember the paper sale and the joining and stuff like that. There's my host code. Here's the card we did tonight. And I hope you all have a good evening or day or whatever time. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.